What is going on, guys? It is Ahmed and I am back today with yet another update for you all on Zomedica, ticker symbol ZOM. Now, before we get into Zomedica, I do want to give a quick shout out to everybody that has been supporting this channel. Guys, we're at 18.7k subscribers. Not even a month ago now. Just about a month ago, we hit 10,000. So we're on our way, well on our way to 20,000. I think it's something we're going to probably hit maybe by the end of this month, beginning of March. But I can't thank you guys all so much, for supporting me on this journey. It has been super fun for me, interacting with everybody, developing a community on the Discord, on the Patreon, whatever it might be, answering questions, being here just as a person that's here to support you, as someone that's just looking to hopefully put you on stock plays that I truly think have some potential in the long term. Because I know currently the market conditions have been pretty rough and a lot of us are down on a lot of our plays. So guys, without further ado, we'll talk about Zomedica. Let's make my screen small here and let's get into it. So as we know, there was a couple articles that came out this week, yesterday and today. And so I do kind of want to talk about those. So specifically this first one, again, Investor Place is just a place that has, they just update about market related things. And, Zomedica has been something that's been on the radar quite a bit. But I do want to talk about their article here that they posted. So this one here was from the 24th, a couple days ago. And there was one from today saying Zomedica has tails wagging over its product release being the true forma. I thought that this was a pretty, fascinating title because again, they kind of put some satire into it. But regardless, if you read through this article, you identify, they talk about, the current valuation of Zomedica. So we could look here, as you could see, Zomedica's current price today, right now, with this market pullback, it's been a pretty red week overall. We're currently sitting at $1.82 per share at the time of this video. And right now it's about 2 p.m. Eastern time, so we have a couple hours till the market closes. Now, if you look at the article and you read through it, it talks about how, what Zomedica is, of course, and the true forma launch specifically. So again, one of the first positive for Zomedica, positive catalyst being, aside from overall pet industry growth, because we know right now, as we saw, if you look higher in the article, it talks about, the growing industry. So here, according to Statista, pet industry sales were up $99 billion last year in the U.S. alone. $99 billion. Now, that's during the pandemic, mind you. That's a $9 billion increase from 2018. In addition, according to the American Pet Products Association, pet food and treats made up the biggest portion of the market with $38.4 billion. That was followed by vet care sales, which was $30.2 billion. So specifically the vet care sales, that's what we need to focus on with this product that Zomedica has. Now, Zomedica, aside from the growing industry, is the company is expected to release its Trueforma diagnostic tool in March. But we have to understand where this puts us, because again, a lot of people have been kind of disappointed with how we saw a run up and pullback. Unfortunately, the whole market pulled back, and I truly think if the market was sustaining its bull run overall, I think Zomedica would have continued to do very well leading up to the Trueforma launch. Now, positioned to capture part of the diagnostic market. So as I've mentioned in previous videos, again, Zomedica is trying to take a slice of the pie. Currently, there's some big like IDEX, there's big names that are out there that have, the majority of the pie under their belts. But what we have to understand is how many veterinarian offices are there in the United States. So you can see here, just looking at the AVMA, the American Veterinary Medical Association, there's 113,000 US vet offices. 113,000. So guys, don't forget about that. All right, make sure you always remember, we need to realize, how big is this, how big are these practices? How many are there? What is the total addressable market? How many will actually adopt this product? And mind you, this is from 2018, a little outdated. Regardless, there are over 113,000 vets, not offices necessarily in the States. I think there was about 15,000 offices. So, I'm just correcting myself immediately there before anyone does. But if you feel the need to, please do so in the comments if you know more of an updated statistic. But Zomedica is currently, in a relatively good financial position. So again, we've discussed the financials, and I've talked about this time and time again after they've completed their direct offering. It received over $40 million in additional cash, so currently it has about cash equivalents of $90 million. The company expects for that to fund operations through 2023. And then again, they expect to be cash flow positive by then. So guys, Zomedica is still such a young company that has strong potential moving forward. But again, for all of us that are in this play, especially for those in the short term, yes, you could swing this one. Yes, you could set your trailing stop loss, lock in some profits like I did and a lot of you did, and we've talked about it over and over and over again. But if you're in it for the long term, this could be a potential good company to have in your main portfolio, something that you buy now and forget about it and look back, look at it maybe 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, because again, they might be able to disrupt the space of vet diagnostics within the dogs and cats currently, but I think that's going to expand even further out moving forward, because I know again, we talked about software upgrades, etc. with their product. Now, Zomedica is technically stretched. There's some negatives, and I don't want to be a person that only hypes up stocks. Yes, I'm very bullish on Zomedica, but we have to understand there is some technically is stretched, and I really like how this article phrased it. All that said, though, you should be cautious about Zomedica in the near term. Keyword near term. Once Trueforma is released, we could quickly see a sell-off on the news reaction from overbought conditions. So we know based off the relative strength index for Zomedica. If we look at the 9-day versus 50-day, anything under 30 is what we consider oversold. Anything over 70 is overbought. So currently, it's between there. So it's potentially not undersold, undervalued or overvalued, if you will. Again, just looking at it from directly from the RSI, the relative strength index. Now, if we go back, following this article here, this morning, they put this, and I don't like the title, unfortunately, but they say all bets are off whether Zomedica stock grows into its valuation. Now, after hitting prices near the $3 range, as we all know, the stock is pulling back, but after dipping to $2 a share, are more declines in the cards. Putting it simple, it's hard to tell. Really, it is hard to tell what's going to happen with the market overall. Can Zomedica continue to correct? Possibly. Now, can it reverse and go back to the trajectory it was going towards? Absolutely. So what we need to figure out is the risk versus return. I really like this article again, although the title was kind of meh. It's no easy task to figure out what the risk versus return is. We can't really measure that, before their product is officially released, depending on how many vets adopt it, that will put in their offices. But those buying Zomedica today at the current price, I think this is what's important, are as much making a bet on the future of Trueforma, which of course we all are, as they are making a bet that Trueforma quickly becomes a widely used veterinary diagnostic product. So again, why else would this early stage company sport a nearly $2 billion market cap when the animal diagnostic market, and it stands today, has annual sales of just $2.57 billion? Now we know the projections for the market, in the next 4 years, 5 years, by 2024, 2025, it's $9 billion, where you know that this is a growing market, specifically the animal diagnostic market. So with that being said, is it kind of, shares trade well above their best case scenario? So right now, absolutely. I truly do think that Zomedica is, currently, and was, especially near the $3 range, it was considered overbought and it was considered overvalued. Because again, they don't really have revenues coming into their company right now. They do have some products, but the Trueforma is the true diagnostic device that we are looking for to potentially do well for the long term. So the reason I continuously update you guys is because a lot of people have said, oh, I'm selling my shares. I'm out of this one. I'm down, especially those who bought at the peak. But what we need to realize is big institutions aren't selling out their shares, guys. Yes, they might not have a substantial position in it, but if you look here, again, yes, a few people did sell in the previous weeks. That was true, especially, during the peak. But as you see, more green than red. Anything red here on Fintel is red rows indicate closed positions, and then the green rows indicate new positions. So as you can see, even just a few days ago, looks like 10,000 shares were bought from a hedge fund, Purus Wealth Management, Cetera, from last week, IHT Wealth Management. So again, people are loading up on Zomedica in anticipation of the Trueforma launch, in anticipation of the Trueforma doing well and being adopted by vets, and that's what we're looking for right now. We're waiting to hear news about vet offices saying, hey, we want to buy this one, or a vet franchise where they're like, hey, we want to buy the Trueforma, we want this in our office. When this news starts coming out, that's when we're going to see more and more people buying into it, and hopefully when we see quarter 2 earnings, quarter 3 earnings, quarter 4 earnings throughout the year, we're going to continuously see a run up for Zomedica. Now again, Of course, everything I say on my channel is not financial advice, guys. Please do your own due diligence before you buy anything into the stock market or put any money in. But also realize, again, Zomedica currently might be overstretched. You could continue to wait for a correction, set a limit buy price, something that I showed on the live stream earlier today. But again, if you're someone who believes in the company and you're seeing it dip from where your cost basis is, that's when you average down. If you don't want to do that because you don't truly believe in the company, instead you're selling when it dips or pulls back, then go ahead and do so. Do what you got to do. But again, I'm not someone who's selling my shares. I'm holding on tight because I'm anticipating the launch here in a month, and moving forward from there, I hope to see that they continuously do well as a business and as a company, because I am long on Zomedica. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning into the live stream today. I was looking at some of the quick technicals for you guys. Again, I'm not a person who does like really technical analysis, but if we just look at even the 5-day, we had a very, very strong support at $1.44. Another strong support at $1.65 where it pulled back. So when we see the support line getting tested multiple times, that's a sign of a buy zone, but this wasn't seen here. Looks like every time there was a higher support line. So 142, looks like 144, and then another one at 165, 166. So if it pulls back near the initial support, that's a strike price. If we see it pull back to 144, that's another strike price. That's a good time for you to potentially buy some shares. But again, guys, please be careful in these market conditions. The market's still pulling back overall. We haven't seen the return of the bulls. We're currently a little bearish. I'm not going to say we're in a bear market because I don't want to be pessimistic. Very optimistic, and I'm excited for the future. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, everybody. People said make my screen bigger. Keep investing.